Hello, and welcome to ATAS News. This week is a special one. I have something to show you on the screen. There's a new promotion and plenty of other interesting updates. Let's take a look. Yes, we're back. After a one-week break, I'd also like to welcome our English-speaking viewers. This video has once again been translated into English using AI, so let's get straight to the point. Lifetime Week is coming up. I believe the promotion starts on the 29th. During the promotion, you'll be able to purchase ATAS lifetime licenses at a significantly reduced price. It's a great time to upgrade, but I don't want to spend too much time talking about the promotion. What's far more important is what I can show you today. I'll show you the options tools in ATAS, a new correlation tool, and another very interesting indicator. One more important update. A 3-part marathon with Pavel Horak is coming soon. It will focus on the MBO tools, Iceberg Tracker, Stop Runs Tracker, and Sweeps Tracker. It will be released shortly, and you'll be able to watch it then. Now, let's go straight to the screen. I'll show you these 3 interesting tools. I'd really appreciate a quick comment telling me what you think of them. Let's get started. So, here's part 1 of the 3 things I want to show you. We've now made quite a lot of progress with the options board. This means that, in the near future, you'll be able to view all the options and different expiration dates directly in ATAS. You'll have everything here in real time directly in ATAS. You can also take it a step further and simulate different option strategies. This is the first step toward displaying options directly on the platform. Various indicators related to levels and other features will follow shortly. So, there's quite a lot coming your way in this area. You can already play around with different option legs here. You can combine different options and simulate them, and so on and so forth. This is coming soon. But what I personally like even more is the ability to overlay several instruments in ATAS. Here you can see different US bonds overlaid on the same chart. You can also overlay the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq to see how they correlate. You can also overlay Apple and Microsoft and watch them in real time. It's relatively simple. I can show you. You open a chart, in this case the S&P 500. Here you have overlays and you simply choose what you want to place over the chart. Of course, I need a contract that hasn't expired yet. Give me a second. Let's just take any futures contract that roughly fits. You'll also be able to adjust the overlay, for example its color. You can also choose whether you want to see candles or an area, so that should be quite interesting. This thing isn't quite finished yet. Some features are still missing, and there are still 1 or 2 bugs, but this is also something you can look forward to. It's coming soon. The third thing is also still in development. Today, I'm giving you a small preview. At the moment, it still doesn't look like much, but what does it do? You add the indicator, and it gives you real-time news from the database. You can see when news is coming and how the figures came in. You'll see the figures, the forecasts, and everything else. This version is still very basic. Yes, we're working on several different things here. I can show you what it looks like right now. At the moment, there isn't much to see. You can basically only see the colored markings. What we'll add is a feature that draws lines on the candles when the news is released. There will also be an alert that warns you, for example, 10 minutes before the next news event. We'll also see additional news events on the timeline, and so on and so forth. We'll also be able to filter important and unimportant news. The blue items here are speeches, such as one by Jefferson and similar events. We'll be able to filter all of that. At the moment, everything is still in there, and nobody needs all the news. Most people only need high-impact news and may want to know when someone from the Fed is giving a speech. And that's it. Yes, so far, so good. That was a small preview of everything being cooked up for you behind the scenes. I'd like to ask you for one thing. Leave a comment below and tell me what you think. It would also be great if you gave the video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. I'll now hand things over to the team in Frankfurt, who will give you the weekly outlook. Take care. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Hello and good afternoon. Welcome to our weekly overview of the macroeconomic calendar presented in partnership with ATAS. I'm Wagner from Traders Talk. The week is already getting off to a fairly busy start. This morning at 10 a.m. we have Germany's IFO Business Climate Index for July. It is Germany's most important economic indicator. We'll also get the Business Expectations Index and the Current Assessment Index. At 12 p.m., the German Bundesbank will release its monthly report. At 2:30 p.m., we'll get US durable goods orders for June. Tomorrow, Tuesday, we'll get consumer confidence figures from France at 8:45 a.m. This is always a useful indicator of sentiment among French households. At 12 p.m., we'll have the OPEC press conference. At 2:15 p.m., the US ADP employment change report will be released. Wholesale inventories will follow at 2:30 p.m. At 4 p.m., we'll get US consumer confidence. At 10 p.m., the API will report its crude oil inventory figures. Let's move on to Wednesday. There's a lot on the agenda. We start at 11:30 a.m. with an auction of 10-year German government bonds from Germany. Then at 4:30 p.m., we have the weekly EIA crude oil inventory report. At 8 p.m., we have the interest rate decision. The forecast is 3.75%. Well, actually the target range is between 3.5 and 3.75%, and no change is expected. The statement will also be released at 8 p.m. Then at 8:30 p.m. we'll have the press conference with the Fed chair. What comes next on Thursday? Exactly, and it starts relatively early. At 7:30 a.m. figures from France will be released. That includes GDP for the second quarter. Then at 8 a.m. we'll get the equivalent figure from Germany, also GDP for the second quarter. At 10 a.m. the individual German states will begin releasing their inflation data. North Rhine-Westphalia, Germany's largest state, will be the first at 10 a.m. All the other states will follow either at the same time or a little later. Then at 2 p.m. we'll get the figure for Germany as a whole. Before that, at 1 p.m. we have the Bank of England's interest rate decision. So the Fed on Wednesday and the Bank of England on Thursday. Then at 2:30 p.m. we'll get a whole series of figures from the United States. These include the core PCE rate, an important price indicator. We'll also get GDP for the second quarter. This is the first release. Growth of 2.3% is expected. And we'll also get the weekly initial jobless claims. That was Thursday, and on Friday we'll have another set of figures. At 8:45 a.m., we'll get the Consumer Price Index from France. At 9:55 a.m., we'll get the unemployment rate from Germany. Of course, this isn't really comparable to the US equivalent. So, these figures receive very little attention. The four-letter tabloid has always had them in advance for as long as I can remember, so it's basically a non-event. Then at 3:45 p.m., we'll get the US Chicago Purchasing Managers Index for July. Then at 4 p.m., we move on to the University of Michigan data from the United States. We'll get consumer sentiment, consumer expectations, and inflation expectations for 1 year and 5 years. That's it for this week's overview of the macroeconomic calendar. You should now be well prepared again, at least when it comes to the economic data. From my side, have a good start to the new trading week, and see you next week.